And a happy Sunday fun day to everybody out there. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller.
Good morning.
Good morning. I am battling the cold that everyone in Chicago has right now.
Stay on your side.
I know. I kind of feel like we should put the plexiglass up again.
We should have plexiglass.
You know,
today.
do all that. Yes, chucking at me the Clorox wipes that are going to be going on. Just spraying me down with disinfectant. It's great.
Yeah. Well,
you know, actually earlier I spoke with a former president who told me that they wished that they had started out in Chicago. I can't tell you which one because he doesn't really have a career, but everybody wants to be here at the Out Chicago, even if I am a phlegmy mess. So there we go. We're so glad that you've joined us out there. Sorry, you're gonna have to deal with me coughing a little bit today, and I apologize for that. So, wait.
How far can I move?
You're fine. I'm doing everything okay. Look, y'all with the Lysol spray and Amy and me.
You'd say the same thing if I was coughing. I know.
But I just had to clear my little throat. Okay. I don't think I'm cutified.
You're past that. I think we need to have something that, a test for COVID, a test to see if you're still contagious, so people can know. Is that hard to invent something like that?
Well, I mean, it's a cold.
I know, but
it's the common cold. I know. I don't want to give it to people at all. Dr. Amy would get on it.
Yes, she would.
I know. Come on. There we go.
All right. Well, you'll push through. Push through.
I know. I'm muscling through. We got a great show for you today. With everything that's just kind of falling apart. The best way to fight despair is through action. And there is another No Kings rally this Saturday, March 28th at 1:30 in Grant Park. And Star De Los Santos, one of the MCs for the event, is going to be joining us later on this hour just to give you a little bit more information about what's going on, what's to be expected. And hey, if you haven't gone to one of these things, now might be a really good time to do it, to show up, because boy, oh boy, there's a lot to go. He's making coins now.
Gold.
Yes.
Wants to make gold.
Whatever. And then, of course, we want some distractions and fun things and honoring people that are doing great stuff around Chicago and in your neck of the woods. About Face Theater presents the world premiere of Modern Gentlemen, the queer trans rom-com that we've all been waiting for. And we're going to be chatting with director Landry Fleming and actor Alec Fan in the second hour. I'm so excited. We've had Landry on the show a couple of times.
I remember,
and I got to work with her when I did Noises Off.
Which was a fabulous production.
It was a fabulous production. Thank you. It was very much
rivaled
fun.
Any production of that show that Chris Jones has ever seen.
Well, it certainly was better than the one at Steppenwolf.
Yeah, that's what the people say.
I know.
They can't be wrong.
They cannot be wrong. That's what the critics said too.
Yes.
But anyway, yes. But she's great, and she's such a great actor too, Landry. And she's now look at this incredible directing career. Cannot wait to catch up with her.
Very exciting.
And each year, Center on Halstead's signature Human First Gala brings together LGBTQ plus community members and allies for an evening of celebration to recognize the contributions of individuals, businesses, and other organizations to the LGBTQ community in Chicago. Center on Halstead CEO Jolie Robinson is going to be joining us. We've got two friends of the show who are being honored at the gala, Tracy Bain and Owen Keenan.
Oh, fantastic!
I know. And Tracy's going to be the Grand Marshal of the Pride Parade. It's about time.
Yeah, I'm thinking, hasn't she? I don't think she's been before.
No, because she's always at the front of the parade because she's there taking pictures and posting stuff on social media because she's always reporting everything. Right. She is recording Chicago's queer stories as a part of Windy City Times for decades. So thrilled that she's getting some flowers for all of her hard work. And of course, we would love to hear from you. So give us a call or text us at 773-763-9278. That number again is 773-763-9278. Give us a call or a text. And of course, you can listen to Out Chicago live Sundays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central on 8:20 a.m. on TuneIn from heartlandsignal.com or watch the live video stream on the WCPT Facebook page or the Heartland Signal YouTube page. And like I said, don't forget, we're on the Face Place, and we're reading your comments. So please leave us your thoughts, as well as like and share the page. Just go to facebook.com/WCPT 820. How are you doing there, Ellen Miller?
I'm, trying to avoid the cooties. Kathy's got a few too.
I know Kathy's got the cooties too, is what you were saying.
It's it's a battle, and I'll just do my best to stay well because I am going to take a little trip a week from tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Wait, you leave a week from tomorrow?
Yes.
Wow.
The 30th.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going on a birthday junket with 8 of my besties and Kathy and me.
Come on now.
Yeah, to celebrate a milestone birthday, which I don't want to talk about right now. But
why don't you want to talk about it? Like how?
It's a new decade.
I know, but it's a new decade. But how wonderful!
No, it's fine. I just feel very young, and
that's the most important thing.
It
like
is.
As we get older, the people say age is just a number. I totally agree with that for yourself. For your own being, but it's also just weird how that doesn't necessarily translate into society.
No,
especially as a woman, you're like, what? I mean, gay men have the same thing. Once you hit 30, bye.
I know.
Bye.
Because I have a little gay man in me.
Bye, you're done.
It's I just that certain age I always seemed old to me, and I don't feel old. And I when I tell people what age I'm turning, they're like,
what? I know exactly because you're a spitfire. You do all what you do, and
I was on the phone with my neighbor this morning, who is he was my next door neighbor for many years, and we're good buds. And he is an Aries like me, and he's going to be 86 in April.
Wow!
And I said, you don't sounded young. And he said, well, like you, I work out. I think if you're blessed with good health, you've got to just not accept it. You have to keep it, keep working on it, keep working out, moving, keeping your body moving, whatever it is, walking, swimming, whatever it is, just getting out there.
And just getting out there and being with people.
And being with
that
people.
That is a huge thing.
And I was actually with the people. I did some election coverage. I was one of the reporters on Tuesday night that was calling in reports for our election coverage. It was a last minute thing, but it was a lot of fun.
Oh, great.
I was at Stratton headquarters, and I want to thank my guests that I had on, Timmy Knutson, Precious Brady Davis, and Develle Cather, who is the campaign manager. I actually nabbed her at the end of Juliana's speech and got her on the air to close out the broadcast.
How fun.
It was really fun. When I said yes, I was like, what am I getting myself into? But I actually had a blast doing it. It was fun being there, and I had a feeling, that she was going to win. I hoped, but I said, man, if I can be at the winning campaign headquarters, that would make it extra fun.
That's so exciting.
And that's how it turned out. And the excitement in the room, it was palatable. It was just so fun. And they had a DJ just blasting. I don't know how we were trying to file reports. We were running out into the hallway, grabbing people and having them call in the reports to Patty and Joan and Richard. And it was just fun to be a part of it,
So did you have a hookup? So you were able to?
No, it was my phone.
I had
to. Yeah, I had to I'd ask them a question, and then I'd
pass it
to them, and then I'd be on the line with the station, and then they proceeded to ask the questions, and everybody was wonderful. I was real lucky to get the surrogates that I got, and then of course grab that campaign manager at the end. It was pure luck. She had a staff lanyard on. I said, are you with the campaign? She goes, I'm the campaign manager. I go, can you come on the radio with me on WCPT real quick? She's like, okay. And I grabbed her by the hand and took her out right at the end of Juliana's speech. And I just happened to go up front and find her, and she was a great way to end the broadcast. So kudos to Patty and Joan and Richard, and Mike was on the phone, and just everybody here at CPT. They really, it's hard to do these on the fly because they were going to people all over at all the different campaign headquarters because I was listening best I could. And, it's a challenge, and they met the challenge. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, I can barely handle just looking at two screens and a phone.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it's
a lot going on there.
There's a lot going on, and they fed us well over there too. I heard that Raja's campaign, they were charging $13 for water and $15 for wine. and the food wasn't free. And over at Juliana's, they had a beautiful gourmet sandwich buffet. They had open bar. I didn't partake of that, of course, but they had lots of water, and free water, and it was fun. I had a few moments with Chuy Garcia at the end, talking about his retirement, and and it was just it was really fun.
Now, I wonder if Raja was like doing better if the food would have been free.
Well, he sure spent a lot on the campaign. You think he would have saved a little bit for a victory for his campaign people.
Well, maybe they're
but before
trying to recoup some costs.
Maybe that they must have. Before I forget, Jen Grosshandler from Gender Cool and her husband John were there. They came up to me. I was kind of out of context. I'm like, she had to reintroduce herself.
And you're like, wait, oh, hi.
And she was a supporter, and she worked on Juliana's campaign, and we had some lovely time together, and it was nice to kind of, because I didn't really know, anybody else there for the most part. But anyway, it was great to be with her and all the good work that she does. And here she was again out there, campaigning. So kudos to everybody. It was a lot of fun. It was a great night. And I was a Juliana supporter and happy she won. I would have been happy with her or Robin. We need more women. We need more women of color. Juliana, if she's elected, and we're sure she will be only the sixth black woman to serve in the U.S. Senate.
It's just amazing.
So,
like, really? What year is this?
Yeah, I think she's going to be great. So
100%. 100%. Yeah, it was. I had to work on primary day, so like I voted, and then I was, as best as I could, was trying to look at my phone throughout everything.
Yeah.
But it was like we had a good field. We had a good field of stuff that were going on for Illinois primaries. Hopefully you all went out and voted and participated. I don't know. Do you have any idea what the voter turnout was like? I don't think it was very big.
Like 18% or something, maybe.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I don't know for sure. I should find out.
mean, okay. I guess.
That's fine.
No, I'm not even going to give you a pass for a primary. Look, you can't complain about stuff if you don't participate. If you do not show up and you do not have your voice heard, you can't complain about it. You did nothing to help your situation. Well, we got to make sure that we get out there and vote in every election.
One of the things that I was finding, I was asking my young friends, did you vote today? You know what? None of them did. Zero.
Okay.
That I asked. Zero. Now,
but,
we got to reach them. We got to reach them.
I know, but not to bring up age again.
Yeah.
Young friends.
20s.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
20s
So younger
and
folks.
30. Yeah. When I mean young, I mean
younger
young
folks.
friends.
Yeah. That's a big thing.
I mean, none of them. Not a one. I meant to. I mean, it's the middle-aged women that are out there voting, and men, older men, and then a spattering of younger, I guess, people. But none of the ones I talked to voted. Not one of them.
That's just bananas.
Still trying
and yet it also tracks. It's like you have the younger generation is really disillusioned with everything right now.
We have to do more to reach them. I don't know. I kept thinking, I don't know what it is, but obviously they're missing the mark, because if none of these people were voting that I spoke to, I mean, I know their politics. I know they're progressive people for the most part.
Do you think it was like, we're just sitting this one out because it's the primary and then we're going to vote in the general election? Or
I just think there's a lack of awareness about it, maybe. I just don't know why. They were like, yeah, it was today, wasn't it? That kind of a thing. I know. It's kind of heartbreaking. I mean...
Well, I don't know how you can miss it.
Primaries traditionally do have a harder time getting people out. I mean, some counties exceeded, it said participation rate in some counties exceeded 50% of registered voters.
Okay.
But I don't know what I'm trying to find the total turnout. But anyway, enough people turned out to get some good people elected. Not everybody, that everybody wanted made it. Of course, there's candidates that ran good campaigns, but didn't make it, but
Yeah, it was also like really, yes.
Like Fritz Kagi, for example, people's property taxes go up and they voted him out. He's not the one that sets that. But people don't understand that. He's tried to reform the way it's been done for a zillion years. And who did they get? A guy that's the old school again, because people just were not informed about some of these other
because
races.
they only look at the the ads that are going out there. You got to do your own due diligence.
Yeah.
Especially right now, like in an age of misinformation and AI and all this stuff. You're like, this isn't going through. Like I'm really trying to. I try to stay off of social media a lot, but like there's times like I have a very small allotment of time that I give myself, usually about like 20 minutes during like a lunch break. Well, I will check on the wild west, the evil. I mean, it's beyond wild. It's horrible. Like the Twitter or the X now, and most of the stuff that I come like it's just not even. It's just patently false, and it's like, and it's fake. It's everything is like people just don't know what to believe, So that's the thing. Well, but it was a great. We had a lot of LGBTQ candidates that were up there, and a lot of them performed well in local races, didn't do so well in the federal races. Illinois House candidates Demi Palachek for the 13th district and Cleopatra Cowley in the 34th district, they both won their races. Palachek is a queer Latina military veteran and National Guard member who was activated for the presidential inauguration support mission following January 6th. And Callie is a community advocate and gun violence prevention activist whose daughter, Hattie Pendleton, was killed in 2013 shooting in Chicago. These are people who feel called to serve. And they're doing it. So congrats on them right there. We also had some incumbents who advanced without opposition from the queer community. You have U.S. Representative Eric Sorensen from the 17th District, State Representatives Kelly Cassidy and Amy Murray-Brielle, and Cook County Commissioner Maggie Trevor. Of course, Precious Brady Davis.
She was on fire. She was her interview was just fantastic.
Of course,
she had just won, and she was excited because Juliana was about to win.
Yeah.
Turnout was about 26%. About 26%. So almost 75% of Illinois voters did not vote
out. Yeah.
So there you go.
Come on, everybody. We got to do better.
Yeah.
Just to get out there.
Yeah. Get out there. Please do it.
Yeah, but Precious Brady Davis, like, girl, that one. Pull the string and watch her go.
She's fantastic. I was hanging out kind of with her during Juliana's speech. We just happened to be standing next to each other, and her excitement and her enthusiasm is just fantastic. I don't
know how she and her husband, Miles Brady Davis, do it because they've got two young kids.
Yeah.
And they're both, Miles is with Equality Illinois. Precious Brady Davis, of course, is, water reclamation commissioner. She's like, they're doing it.
They're doing it. And she was looking great, too. She had a great outfit on. And
she had her
LGBTQ sign up. And,
she always does. And it's so like, because like I've had a little bit of a history with her. Like, that sounds very, no. But just like I met Precious like almost 20 years ago.
Wow, you do. That's a while.
When she was still, she was just finished, she was basically a showgirl. She was a drag queen. And to see like and she was like trying to find her voice, like she was doing like performance art and she was doing all this stuff. And to see her, how far she has come, like, it's like, hats off to you, Precious.
She's doing a great job at it. So she's reelected.
She's reelected and she's doing her thing and she's getting out there and walking the walk, as they say.
It's there was. I'm just so excited for Juliana though to have another woman and a woman of color representing our state. We're gonna have two women senators. State of Illinois. I don't know if any other states have just two women. I don't know. I can't think of that, but I love if we're the only one that makes me happy.
And have the other one be Tammy Duckworth. Like, look out.
Yeah.
Come on now. It was also, it felt like there was a big national focus on the 9th district in particular, where Evanston Mayor Daniel Biss won. And Kat Eberger-Zala had a really good turnout.
She had a good run.
She had a very good turnout. But she and State Senator Mike Simmons lost to him for the 9th district. Yeah. But what was also really interesting were people who were coming out. My brain is my brain's a little foggy, so I'm just going to skip over that thought. But yeah, so it was exciting, and also and Mike Quigley won. I thought he was running for mayor.
Well, there's talk of him running for mayor, but he's still going to. I'm glad he's.
I saw him.
Mike.
I saw him at the World of Chocolate at AIDS Foundation Chicago.
I'm a big fan.
I'm a big fan of him too. But I didn't even, for some reason, I guess because I don't live in the 5th District, I wasn't aware of that. But I thought that he was running for mayor.
There's talk of him running, but I guess he's keeping his options open and remaining a congressperson just in case.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah. No, but he's a good guy. He's out there fighting. He's fighting the good fight. And when he first was elected to our district, I was supporting somebody else, but I soon came around to appreciate what Mike does
All right.
for us. Yeah.
Well, there we go. Well, like I said, our bench is stacked.
Yes.
To use a sports metaphor.
Yes, indeed.
Did I do that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we got a stacked bench, a great lineup, and now we're going to be heading into the midterms. So that means everybody's got to go out and vote. And also do your research. Do your research.
Yeah, don't leave it up to everybody else to do it for you.
No. And don't believe everything that you see on that.
Yeah, like that hoax that everybody, that's Facebook. I'm like, people, this is, they write that tomorrow's a big day, and if you press this, and it's going to turn blue, and like 1 million people had this hoax on this thing to save your privacy on Facebook. It's just a big lie, but it's amazing how many people post it without researching it. All they have to do is type it into Google and say, is this a hoax? But a zillion people posted it.
What happens if you, what was it? I'm confused.
It was a lie. It was about 60 Minutes. A reporter said that if you post this, you are protecting your privacy on Facebook. It's this long, ridiculous post. I mean, I had to write.
Do they get anything from you? Do they steal your data or whatever when you do it? Or is it just because look, my ding dong brother, who is, has 10 friends on Facebook, would post randomly, will just be like, everything here is my property and you can't do this and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? They're subject to is illegal. I'm like, there's nothing illegal now because the guy that's running the country, there's no such thing as rule of law anymore.
Yeah, it's starting tomorrow. Your private photos, messages, and posts
all that crap.
All that. And if you put your finger on this and repost it, people, I'm like, people, you're a smart person. Why did you just post this? It's just, anyway. But it just shows you how people accept. They said, it was on 60 Minutes. Well, guess what? Don't believe everything you see, hear, or read. Just because someone wrote that it was on 60 Minutes. Why don't you do a tiny bit of research? You realize,
was it on 60 Minutes?
No, it was not.
I don't think it was. And also, right now, anything that's on CBS News.
Oh, and they shutting down the CBS radio network news is really a sad day.
They're taking over the media.
Sad day.
This is again, we should all be bristled with everything, especially with the "thank God he's dead" comment, and we're gonna get to that.
We'll get to that too.
Right now, we need to take a break first. We're gonna get to all that because, oh boy. Because
it matters.
Because it does matter. But before we go to take a break, this part about Chicago is brought to you by Team Hochberg. If you are purchasing a new home, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Kim, a single mom and longtime renter, called David after reading several of his over 700 5-star Google reviews to get pre-qualified to purchase her first home. Now, David answered Kim's questions, supplied her realtor with numerous pre-approval letters until she located and purchased the perfect home for her and her 6-year-old daughter, Sophia, to enjoy future life cycle events. They're all going to be just on stationary bikes. For their life cycle events. Let's review. Kim contacted David to secure a mortgage on her first home, and David helped her secure a low interest rate mortgage with only 5% down. If you're purchasing a home and would like the same outstanding service and low interest rate as Kim received so you can get a life cycle, call Team Hochberg now at 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg helped Kim and thousands of WCPT listeners, but they can't help if you don't call 855-563-2843 or visit that website you know and love, 56david.com. Lower.com, equal housing lender, NMLS 1124061. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, there is more Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
I'm Jen Grosshandler.
And I'm Chazzy Grosshandler.
We're with the Gender Cool Project, and you're listening to
Out Chicago.
Woot!
Jen, hope you're listening. I told you we run that all the time.
There we are. Yes, welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, and Ellen Miller are rolling along, a little congested on my part over here. Hey, this week's on Choose Views, Richard Choose guests include education activist Jessica Hawk, also known as My Teacher Face, Lavora Barnes of Democracy Defenders Fund, and former chair of the Michigan Democratic Party, activist, author, and human rights lawyer Kasim Rashid, and show regulars Sarah Jones, Kurt Mullett, Karen Byrne, and Kevin Schultz, and more. Choose Views weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. Central on WCPT 820 a.m., the Heartland Signal website, TuneIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So, everything's going great.
Oh, yes.
Everything's
fantastic.
going great. We've got sane, rational people running at the head of our government. When the news hit that Robert Mueller died yesterday at age 81, and as soon as that happened, I'm like, what is he going to post? And he posted exactly what I thought
Yes.
he was going to do.
You fulfilled your expectation.
Thank God he's dead.
Horrible.
What? And here's the thing that I know I'm late to the game with this because there's been a part of me, that Pollyanna part of me, that has really hoped that people are going to see that he's just a horrible human being, that he's awful, that he does not care for anything except for himself and enriching his family and his friends, and how horrible of a human being he is, especially my little Christian friends out there. And
Yes.
not a peep. And I am now just realizing it has taken me very long because I have been holding out hope that people will change, that they are gone. 30% of our country is gone. They have drunk the Kool-Aid, and the Kool-Aid consists of nothing but being mad at people. It's being hateful, causing pain, being petty. There's nothing that is setting up that is good for the country. No. It's nothing but personal grievance. That is what the whole thing is. It is a party of grievance, and they don't care about anybody.
No.
And they think this is great. Like what we were saying, well, at least he says and speaks his mind. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you
talking about?
Yeah, they claim to be patriots. They claim to be Christians. They claim to care for their fellow man, the golden rule. They support a man that literally has no bottom. He has no morals. He has no soul. He has no sense of patriotism, no sense of sacrifice, no integrity. He's heartless, and he's just a freaking hollow husk of a human being. Okay, That's what he is.
Yeah.
And if you're seeing something else, you have serious issues.
I know, and that's what's really crushing me, because I'm like, oh, they're gone. They're gone, and we're going to have this mess for a while.
They are gone, but I will tell you this. When I talk to people who have I don't know if they're MAGA or if they're Republicans that voted for, because remember, there's people that just vote Republican because they just are Republicans, and even though they don't agree with everything and blah, blah, blah.
But Republicans aren't doing anything. I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's getting me mad.
One of a friend of mine is dating a guy from Wisconsin, and his friends are all military, a lot of military guys. And they have turned on him, okay? They
turned on the friend or
Trump,
turned on
Trump.
Okay.
They've turned on Trump. Another friend of mine whose friend, I heard this is all in the last week, she also her son was about to join the military, and, makes him think a little bit when he gets us into this ridiculous war that nobody approved. There's no explanation for. It's just going on about that. But I think that there are plenty of people who have changed their opinion about him. I do believe that. But there is that core that's going to just dismiss it as that's him. That's why I like him. He's got the balls, and I can say that.
Yeah, sure.
He's got the balls to say whatever he thinks, and they love that. He's not a politician. A dear friend of mine who I love, but she's a Republican. She lives out of state. she posted a false meme about Kamala Harris, and then people proceeded to write, "Oh, I'm so she's this, she's that," and I try not to respond to these people anymore. But I had to leash out because I know they're Christians, I know that they're supposed patriots. About everything you just said and I just said. How do you dare support this man? How can you call yourself a Christian and support a man that says and does the things he does? Besides being a alleged rapist, a convicted
felon,
a convicted felon, a liar, just every bad thing you can say about a human being. And yet he is the representative to the world of our country. And he says this about Mueller, who was a Vietnam veteran, who was a Purple Heart recipient, who helped save men in his platoon, who gave his support. He was in the FBI, and according to sources that you could believe, he transformed it. How dare you? Okay, but this man, there's no bar. There's no bar too low for him.
Aren't you embarrassed?
Aren't you embarrassed to say that this is your leader?
But I think their whole thing is like they're grabbing onto this whole notion of like American exceptionalism, which we know has totally been debunked.
Yes,
because we are not exceptional at all, especially given right now.
No,
but they're kind of holding it now like bullying is like a form of strength. Question mark? Like, I don't get it. Like, are you not embarrassed that this man who can barely complete a full sentence is represents us on the world stage?
And how about young people that are growing up with him as an example? Let's say they grow up in a house that their parents are Republicans and voted for him. Young people
I think we need to stop calling them Republicans. We need to call them MAGA. They're not Republicans because they don't do anything. Their policies.
Well, all the entire Congress that are Republicans, or some of them are MAGA, some are not. But that doesn't matter. They're still not doing anything.
Yeah.
But whatever you want to call them, what kind of example does it set to have a leader who talks about people the way he does, who acts the way he does, who has a criminal record? It's giving them permission, like you said, to be a bully, to be mean, to be a racist. This is what the example of leadership in our country has become. You should be ashamed of yourself, people. If you're supporting this at this stage of the game, maybe you thought it was going to be different when he said no wars, eggs are going to go down in price, gas is going to be cheap. But look at reality right now and ask yourself, look in the mirror and ask yourself, is this the man that I want to be representing our country to the world and an example for my children?
Yeah. Say it. Tell it, Helen.
Can you
tell it, Helen? Come on, lady. Yeah, but there was that one lady who went viral this week, I think from Pennsylvania, where she was at a gas prices, the gas tag, and they're like, "What do you want to say?" And she, was like, "You are a big old pile of doo-doo.
I voted for you 3 times.
I voted for you 3. Yeah, shame on me. That's on me. But you are, yeah, it is.
When I hear people say that, at least I give them comment. Okay, you admit it, you made a mistake, and you're not going to make it anymore. Okay, and maybe your kids or your grandkids can hear you, but there's not enough of them speaking out. They're afraid. The Congress is drunk on power, and they're ridiculous. They're just ridiculously ineffective. And how they can watch this, how they can stand by and watch this horrible man get us into a war and say the things he says about our military. Fundraise over coffins, the whole thing. It's just nothing.
Putting ice in the airports tomorrow.
Have them be TSA. Yeah.
That part I think I'm like, oh, that sounds like a really great idea. Are they going to be wearing their masks? That's what I want to know. When you're going through to check your luggage, and they're going to be like, well, can you see them in their face balls, or are they going to be covered up?
Can I take a picture of you when I go through the security next week?
Yeah, you can do that. What's going on? Like that whole thing is just like, what are you talking about? And then you have, Mark Wayne?
Mark Wayne Mullen.
Yeah, whatever. Like he's in there. Don't worry, folks. They're coming up with a plan today to implement tomorrow. So that's going to be what could possibly go wrong?
The most inept,
what could possibly go wrong?
Bunch of buffoons that have ever been in charge of an administration in the history of this country.
It is just like, I don't know how you can stand behind him.
No offense to baboons.
At all. Let's get one call in. Let's talk to Steve. Welcome. You're on Out Chicago.
Well, yes, I think you've raised a number of
Hello,
important
Steve.
points. Hello, do you hear me?
Oh, yeah, but sure do.
Hey, Steve.
Great. So yeah, I think you've raised a number of important points. And one of the ways in which you make sure that your base remains loyal is, again, you manipulate the media in a way that you could not do before. I mean, when Nixon faced Watergate, when Reagan faced the Iran-Contra scandal, it wasn't as simple as just saying, oh, well, you know what, the media's lying, it's fake news, because the American people still had faith in their media and journalism outlets, and they said to themselves, you know what, I have no reason not to believe CBS or ABC or the New York Times. So, but today, literally, there's a cohort of MAGA voters, and there are some of us on the left that also fall into this trap, but not nearly as much, and that simply refuse to accept the notion that this is credible reporting. These are honest people, experienced journalists, and they're reporting facts.
Yep.
And when you talk to someone who's been a cult follower, let's face it, because that's what it's become,
Yes.
Yep.
a cult of personality, it's just, oh, no, that's just a big lie. Okay, well, let's explore it together. You go, no, it's just a lie. It's just a lie. They'll stick your fingers in your ears and yell, nah. I mean, this is where we are as a country. And Socrates talked about this 2,500 years ago, that, the inherent danger in democracy is that, when you let everyone participate, a lot of people who are participating aren't terribly well informed. They don't understand things, and they're easily manipulated.
Yeah.
2,500 years ago, he knew that was true, and it's still true today, because they were told that, there was some sort of magical America that was going to reemerge, 1950s America, in which everybody was going to be, living in a great house, enjoying a great standard of living, and all of these silly things, on the left, like civil rights and human rights, and, the things that we like to talk about. Well, those won't matter anymore,
Right.
because we didn't used to talk about those things. So I don't know what to say, except, again, and this goes back to a point you made earlier, we keep hoping that young people are going to turn out. When young people struggled to get the vote to 18, those young people turned out. They made a difference in elections for many, many years. But today, I mean, with all due respect to young people, they don't care. A lot of adults don't care as well.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's really difficult to get them to, they'll know exactly what concert is out this summer, and they've got a list down about where they're going to go and what they're going to do and this sort of thing. But, vote. And lastly, I mean, to be quite fair, because we've become so polarized, there are blue states and there are red states, and the vast majority of the elections that we have in those states, they are defined by family dynamics. So in other words, we had 3 people running for Dick Durbin's seat. All 3 were good candidates, in my view.
Yeah. Yes.
So it wasn't as if you were going to lose. So the people who didn't show up in many ways were like, well, I mean, we're going to get a Democrat, and then that Democrat's going to go on to win the general in Illinois, and almost certainly so. Why am I going to show up? The same thing happens in Texas. People don't show up. But now, when you finally start to get some possibility that there'll be a contested election in Texas, then people start to show up. Unfortunately, we've solidified into this system where there's only a handful of seats in America that are really purple. Pick however you want to call it. So I mean, I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, no, but that's really is a great point too. And as you were talking, especially when it comes to talking about young people voting and everything, again, Steve, thank you so much for giving us a call. I'm thinking, looking back and reflecting upon when I was in my 20s, did I vote in every election? I don't know. I didn't. I really didn't. And I know these were completely different times. But I think I was young. I was just trying to figure out my life, as opposed to my life existed in a very small bubble, and I didn't really think outside. I mean, I did, especially. I did start voting, and I started paying more attention as I got older. But I just think that's also a part of growing up. But there's also, we live in a time of so much communication and so much information that I don't see how these people can't see how it's going to affect their lives. And maybe, hopefully, because we are in a blue state, because we are in a blue city, because we were, looking for nominees to fill, Dick Durbin's seat, who, is just such a great senator, and has been, that we were assured that we were going to have a Democrat. And then I think people will show up. But I think we need to remind people about there is an urgency that is happening right now, and that we do need to get people out.
It's a
and
5-alarm
vote.
fire.
Yeah, it is a
folks.
5-alarm fire, and I think a great way to do that is to again become involved. And I can't think of a better way to get involved than by going to the No Kings rally. So we are going to be taking a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to be speaking with one of the MCs for the upcoming No Kings rally. It's on March 28th at 1:30 at Grant Park, Star de los Santos. So please stick around. You don't want to miss that conversation. We're going to take a quick break, but stick around. There's more out in Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Welcome back. I'm Fazia Mirza. You're listening to Out Chicago on WCPT.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller, rolling along.
Yes.
Hey, this coming Saturday, March 28th at 1:30 p.m. at Grant Park.
Be there, be square.
It's another opportunity to make history, not just watch history happen by participating in the No Kings Rally. And joining us now is one of the MCs for the event, Star de los Santos. Star, welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning. Buenos dias, everyone. How you doing?
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. I'm
Mucho
doing well.
gusto.
I'm a little congested, but you know that.
Aren't we all?
I know, aren't we all? Welcome to Chicago in the spring. This is what's happening here.
Yes, you're not alone.
I know. Hey, so thank you for taking time out to join us today. What was the impetus for you becoming involved with No Kings?
Yeah, thank you for having me. Honestly, I mean, I think along with everyone else, I feel like we're living in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. And so I think, a march is something very powerful, something that really sends a message that brings people together on, regardless of differences, regardless of skin color, regardless of religious background. This is a moment that brings unity. And so how I got involved, I've been doing advocacy work for a while. I'm the secretary of the city's LGBTQ Advisory Council. I am the associate director of Coalition. So my job is mainly to bring people together on a variety of different issues. And so I was approached by Indivisible, and I couldn't say no. I thought this was an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing that's been so wonderful about all the work that Indivisible Chicago is doing, shout out to them too. They got a big old shout out by Trans Up Front Illinois yesterday at their gala, which I could not attend because I'm sick. But what the way that each one of these rallies have grown exponentially out of, from the first one, I believe was last April. I think that was down in Daly Plaza. And I remember being there and attending and just kind of looking around. I'm like, oh, well, there's a lot of folks here, but there's, I definitely saw there was an age difference.
Yes.
There was a lot of us older folks that were out there. And then the next one happened and it was bigger and there were more people, as you said, people of different colors and different backgrounds and different economic status and everything. And then the one that happened in this fall down in Grant Park was huge,
and all ages,
and all different. Like it was
and lots of ethnic.
Just everybody was there. All sorts of different backgrounds. Do you feel buoyed as we continue to see these protests and these rallies and having our voices heard to be just growing? Do you feel buoyed by the knowledge that people are mad and want to be out there to make a change?
Yeah, people are mad. We see these gas prices right now. People have the right to be mad, right? And besides the gas, we have rising costs in housing, grocery, healthcare. And I think these are all issues that impact you regardless of age. And I think, honestly, when the first No Kings March occurred, I think maybe people were still kind of living in a different world. Maybe okay, maybe this will pass, something will happen. But, no one's going to save us. We're going to save us. We have to stand up. We have to go out there. We have to be informed. And especially now when there's so much division being created between the LGBTQ plus community, between immigrants, Black and brown communities are being impacted. It's impacting everyone, and I think people are realizing that. And I think that is why it's been growing, and it's going to continue to grow. I think the last one was 250,000 people. I think they're projecting that or even more this time. And this is just a really good way to do something. I think a lot of people feel powerless, and they feel alone. And this march in particular shows people that you're not alone, and that all of these issues are intersectional and they are impacting all of our communities, no matter where you live in Chicago.
Yeah, and Chicago shows up, man. I will tell you, I've been so proud of our city.
It's been very empowering. It's very empowering to be there, and I did notice a very big uptick in the Latina community that was out in the fall. No Kings, and I'm guessing that the reality of ICE, which was at full force at that time, being in our neighborhoods, brought people out, and when they realized the impact of what this administration was doing to their community. And I hope that momentum continues for this upcoming, because even though they're not here right now, we know it could be any day that they
they're going to be
back.
at the airport tomorrow.
Yeah,
so you know, there we go. So Star, what is on the docket for March 28th, the No Kings rally at Grant Park?
Yeah, well, on March 28th, we're going to continue to build on momentum. We'll be having speakers, music. We'll be having a march through downtown Chicago. We'll be bringing together a broad coalition across labor, immigrant rights, LGBTQ+, reproductive justice, environmental movements. I'll be serving as one of the MCs, so come check me out alongside my colleague Jinsu Ha. And really, it's going to be a moment of uplifting voices of the variety of communities that are truly being impacted, and showing how we're coming together, showing up in resistance and solidarity. So it should be an amazing time. I definitely recommend, again, if you're feeling like you can't do anything, or if you're feeling alone, I mean, this is just a great opportunity to meet other like-minded people, to see what organizations you can continue to support, because I think that's another thing. You have Indivisible Chicago, shout out, but you have ACLU of Illinois, you have Hands Off Partners, you have Sierra Club, you have Equality Illinois, Chicago Federation of Labor, so many organizations that you can continue to support, going to their events, just knowing the people who are out there. And I think that also gives you hope as well, that knowing that there are so many amazing organizers and leaders on the ground who are working day in and day out to ensure that there are no thrones and no crowns and no kings in our nation.
And there are several. There's Grant Park is the main, but all over the Chicago area there are marches. Correct?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be all over the place. So Chicago might be the biggest one, but I know there's Evanston's having one. There's other suburbs that are having one, too. So if you can make it down in Chicago, and I also recommend to get down there early. It does start at 1:30, but highly recommending folks to come down earlier, get a good spot, because, I think it's definitely going to be 250,000 and up. So,
yeah, wonderful.
Well, Star, I want to thank you so much for your passion, for your leadership, and for your example of getting out there and having your voice heard and being with community. Because I think community is what's going to save us. Community and being with people is really what's going to get us through all of this. And we want to make sure that you show up at the No Kings rally. It's coming up this Saturday, March 28th at 1:30 p.m. in Grant Park. As Star said, get there early. And boy, oh boy, get ready for some sardines on the red line, because it is packed there. Star De Los Santos, thank you so much for joining us. And where can folks go? Can they just go to like indivisible.com to see where there might be a protest in their neck of the woods if they can't make it downtown?
Yeah, and Instagram, too, has all that information as well that they're posting on an everyday basis, just to let people know what safety protocols are, how to get there, what's the best way, timing, and all that. And I believe that they'll also start promoting who will be speaking. So definitely keep up with us, and I hope to see many of you there.
Keep up and keep informed. We'll be there. Star De Los Santos, thank you so much, and rest up for a big weekend next week.
Oh, I will. Thanks, y'all. Muchas gracias. Enjoy.
De nada. We have got to take a quick break. And when we come back, it is the second hour about Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
I'd like to welcome you to WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
And welcome back to the second hour of Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ella Miller, rolling along.
Yes, indeed we are.
Singing a song.
Side by side.
Side by side. I don't know. I'm not feeling great. So my brain is a little kooky pants. But we got a great second hour for you. Hey, tomorrow on Live Local and Progressive, Jonas Pizzito will be taking your calls and talking to Ray Long, recently retired Chicago Tribune investigative reporter and board member of the Chicago Headline Club, and syndicated personal finance columnist and author Terry Savage, and Pat Quinn, former governor of Illinois.
Yes, indeed.
I would like to hear what he has to say.
Always.
So make sure you tune into Live, Local, and Progressive weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Central on WCPT 820 AM, heartlandsignal.com, and tune in. We're going to pivot real hard because we were talking about gross, awful, horrible things. And now we're going to talk about awesome, amazing, creative, and inspiring things. A little bit later on in the show this hour, we're going to be speaking with the CEO of the Center on Halstead, Jolie Robinson, about their upcoming Human First Gala, which celebrates all of the cool stuff that us queers do here in Chicago. But right now, I'm super duper excited for our guest this hour right now, because About Face Theater is presenting the world premiere of Modern Gentleman, a queer trans rom-com that we've all been waiting for, and it's about time that it's here. And now we are so excited to have on the show director Landry Fleming and actor Alec Fan. Landry and Alec, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, y'all are in previews. How's it going?
A marathon, but it's super exciting and super fun.
Okay. Are you still are you doing rehearsals during the day and everything before you head off to do the show?
Yes, we are. Yes, so we're still doing tech and rehearsals and previews afterwards. Yeah.
Look, this is my favorite part of any sort of rehearsal process is the previews. I love it. It's so informative. You see what's working, what's not, because a lot of people out there who are savvy theater goers don't really understand that. This is a little how the sausage is made for you. So when you're in previews, you'll do a show at night, and then based on how everything went, you go back and during the day you rehearse during the day, and then you make some changes, whether it's tech or blocking or whatever, and then you just make the show better and better and better. So excited about this. Landry, my friend, can you tell us a little bit more about the story of Modern Gentleman, and how did this play come to you?
Ooh, yeah. So the play, which is just so phenomenal, it follows this character Adam, who is navigating dating after he breaks up with his fiance.
Ew.
Which feels a bit like a spoiler, but it happens pretty early.
Sorry, don't make me laugh. I'm going to die over here. Yes. So we're moving and navigating through romance and relationships. I love that.
That's exactly right. Yes. And learning about yourself along the way, which we all do. And I think the other cool thing about this piece is that all of these characters are on their own personal evolutionary journeys, and we get to watch them grow alongside Adam and expand and contract and find new things, and it's a really beautiful piece.
Is that what led you, Landry, to want to direct it, or was there something real specific about the play itself that got you interested in being a part of it?
Well, that's a great question. I'm a really big fan of the playwright Preston Max Allen. I really love his work. And we have worked together before on a new musical called Never Better. And this, although I think I worked on the reading of this first, I was approached by a theater to potentially direct a staged reading of this. And after I read the piece, I was just so in love with it and honored that they thought of me, and I was like, absolutely. And so Megan, the artistic director of About Face Theater, saw the reading and just fell in love with it too, and so the rest is kind of history. So when they approached me about directing for About Face, I was like, oh, hell yeah.
Perfect.
Come on
Perfect.
now.
Thank
Come
you.
on now. So now, Alec, you play Adam, the modern gentleman of said modern gentleman. How did you key into this character?
Interesting. So I think what I love about the play in general is that it does follow this rom-com kind of structure, but because the lead Adam is a trans person and the characters surrounding him are queer, it kind of subverts that trope of a rom-com. So like growing up watching rom-coms and then inserting myself with my own identity into the story felt like a natural fit. Does that make sense?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Have you, what have you learned from Adam as you are making this journey?
Oh, what have I learned from him? That it's so important to consider the impact of your own emotional challenges on the people in your life. I think that's probably the biggest.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep right there. You know what I mean? I'm like, wait a second. You've actually like increased your empathy as you are going through. What? The power of art. That's what I say. That's so fantastic. So Landry, we first met since Jesus was in diapers years ago.
That's right.
You were on roller skates in Xanadu, and I just fell in love with you right away. You are an incredible actor, just so wonderful. And you have now had this incredible directing career. How are you pursuing one more than the other these days, or where are you with your artistic journey?
Yeah. Oh, well, first of all, such lovely things. Thank you. And I know I just love any excuse to talk to you. I think that I love both. And so I'm definitely still pursuing both. I'll say right now, I'm definitely directing more. That's definitely the bulk of my artistic work. But I still make sure I get in, like, I do like music improv so that I get to like keep performing regularly. And of course, I'm still out there. So more directing lately, but catch me next year. You
never know. You never know. Look, I had a great fortune of working with you on Noises Off. I said that at the beginning of the show about as you were the assistant director on that. Just dream of an experience. So I know firsthand, like, what a smart cookie you are. What has it been like working with this ensemble of actors to create this sort of rom-com-y vibe? You know, because I mean that's Alec, you were saying how it kind of throws the tropes off with this ensemble, but the cast of characters. How? Because how have y'all been creating the vibe, the world of the play?
Yeah. Well, I think Catherine Miller was our casting director, and this cast is so brilliant. I mean, they make my job really easy. They're all so funny and full of heart that, like, I'll tell you what, like, as far as processes are concerned, this just flowed so naturally. Everyone put so much thought into their character and into their relationships within the show that, like, it was kind of easy.
You go do that there.
Yeah. It was great, and they all are so thoughtful and take care of one another too, which I think has led to such a tight, really lovely performance and team. Yeah.
Alec, question for you: was there something specific in the course of the show that really hit home personally for you?
Oh, I mean, there are experiences that the character has that I definitely have had as a trans person navigating dating, like post a large breakup, you know? So to see those things told in story form, like with a lot of nuance is a real privilege and a pleasure for me.
Nice.
For sure.
All right. What, Alec, what is your favorite rom-com?
Oh, I have been asked this before.
I'm sure.
I go back. Does A Knight's Tale from 2001 count as a rom-com? Because that would be my
answer. My gosh. Wait, that's with the Heath Ledger. So yes. Okay, I'm sitting up. This is me, and I'm holding a lance for some reason. Does that count as a rom-com? I Interesting. All right. Well, what about that movie?
It does not.
Well, no.
If it does
Hey,
not.
I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. I'm not here to say what's a rom-com, what's not. I do not put labels on things. So what is it about that movie that you kind of like, oh, I get the vibe, like the humor and the heart and the loss.
It has all those things. It has the romance and it has the comedy. It has the cast of supporting characters that are a significant part of the lead's life, that kind of aid and sometimes abet in bringing the two lead lovers together. So
all right, and
the rom-com for me.
There's a lance involved somewhere.
Yeah, there's a lance.
I may have made that up because I don't think I've ever seen that one.
There's definitely a lance.
Okay, thank goodness. Okay, good. Landry, same to you. How about what is your favorite? What's your go-to rom-coms?
Okay. I really love and this is more of a buddy love story.
Okay.
But I love Bridesmaids.
Yes.
Love
I'm
that
such a
movie.
big buddy love story. I also like Miss Congeniality, as I recall.
Uh-huh.
But I love a buddy love story. So Bridesmaids came to mind for sure.
Oh my gosh, yes. I love a buddy love story. Is this
Right.
so is there a buddy love that's happening in A Modern Gentleman that is getting its world premiere at About Face Theater right now?
No spoilers. but
Okay,
there's
sorry.
definitely a lot of love between everyone who appears in Adam's life.
Okay.
Lots
So
of different kinds of love.
love and
Yeah.
support.
Is there something that you think that people will be, some particular moment in the show when the next day people will be still thinking about it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, wow, these performances. I think multiple. These actors are just out of this world. So I think that people are absolutely going to continue talking about it for sure.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I would say that the ending is it ends with a lot of imaginable possibilities. So I think people will be thinking about that for sure.
Oh man, but, you know,
that.
we can use some possibilities right now and some hope.
Yes.
You know, is that the message of the show that you hope audience takes away, that like possibilities, or what do you both think that like you want audiences to leave after they check out Modern Gentleman at About Face Theater? What do you hope they leave with?
Do you want to go first?
I'm processing.
It's okay. We can do some hold music. I can talk about Bridesmaids and my whole theory about how Academy Awards always look over the comedic people, and they always drives me crazy, except for Melissa McCarthy that year when she got nominated for Bridesmaids. There we are.
God. Oh,
know that. I didn't
me
know that.
neither.
Oh. I feel like I've flummoxed everybody. So was that enough stall time? What do you hope audiences leave with? Okay.
Yes, please.
I think that I want people to realize that relationships and people you love, not necessarily romantic relationships, are worth doing hard work for. I think that's my answer.
I love it.
Yeah. And I think I want people to walk away feeling really seen and reflected. And I want, the word that you used was possibility, and recognizing that we all have so much possibility for so much room both to like grow, to be a part of other people's growth, to be able to embrace that, and to even perhaps be excited by it.
I love that. And I love being like, I love the fact that we have, Chicago is doing a really nice job. We can do better within the theater community, but in terms of like presenting stories that reflect different communities' experiences and different, like, and having different folks be the focus. And I love that at the center of this, you have a trans man. And based on press releases, it seems like there are other trans or gender non-binary characters that are up there. To me, the importance of telling these stories is so that when the audience is watching and they're like seeing all these possibilities and the hope that is going to be happening out there for folks, is that they realize that they, even though that might not be their specific lived experience, they can relate. And as you said earlier, Alec, you're creating empathy. And when you create empathy, that is how you create change. That is how you create social change. That is how you, increase like I hate acceptance because like, ugh, it's such a icky word for me. Or tolerance. Tolerance is even worse. I don't want to be tolerated. But no, acceptance is much better. But I think when we have these stories and you're showing it to a wide variety of people, the audience will leave changed.
That's right. Yep.
Well, y'all, do not miss the world premiere of Preston Max Allen's Modern Gentleman, presented by About Face Theater. It runs through April 18th on the Short Stage at Raven Theater, which is just right up the street from where I am, and I cannot wait to come see you all there. For more information and for tickets, go to aboutfacetheater.com, and that's theater with an R-E because they're fancy that way. Landry Fleming, Alec Fan, thank you so much for taking time out. I know this is a hugely busy time for you as you were in the preview process, but it is such a pleasure to chat with inspiring artists.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
legs.
Break all the legs. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be chatting with Center on Halstead's CEO, Jolie Robinson, about the Human First Gala. So stick around. You're listening to Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
I'm filmmaker Stephen Cohn. Welcome back to Out Chicago on WCPT.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller, rolling along. Hey, and Monday on Driving It Home, Patty Vasquez will be joined by comedian Bill Gorjo, Dr. Lisa Patel, Executive Director of the Medical Society Consortium, and Climate and Health, and more. That is Driving It Home with Patty Vasquez, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Central on WCPT 820 AM, the Heartland Signal website, TuneIn, YouTube, and Facebook. And hey, and speaking of the Facebook, you know, people have always asked us what ways they can do to support the work we do at WCPT and Heartland Signal. And as always, the best thing to do, support our sponsors. Come on.
Indeed.
Yes. Tell them that you appreciate them advertising with us. But if you are on the Faceplace, there's another way. You can now subscribe to the WCPT 820 and Heartland Signal Facebook pages. The subscription is just 99 cents a month. We will have some special offers for our subscribers coming soon. So visit us, WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk, and Heartland Signal on Facebook, and just hit that subscribe button. You know, I'm very excited to have our next guest on because each year, Center on Halstead's signature Human First Gala brings together LGBTQ plus community members and allies for an evening of celebration to recognize the contributions of individuals, businesses, and organizations to the LGBTQ community right here in Chicago. And we are very, very fortunate to have Center on Halstead CEO Jolie Robinson joining us right now. Jolie, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for the invite to talk a little bit about Center on Halstead and our Human First Gala.
Oh my gosh. And thank you again. I know these are always like some kooky busy times for everybody. Like, so thank you. I understand time off is a prime, it's like a premium. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
How are things going over at the Center on Halstead?
Things are going well. Things are busy. You know, gala season is upon us, but then, you know, things don't stop at the center just because the gala is underway.
Right.
So, you know, still direct services happening, HIV testing, our youth programming, great things happening there as they plan an upcoming Trans Youth and Family Action Summit. Super excited about that. And then, you know, just the ongoing work of our senior programming. Every Tuesdays and Thursdays, they host a senior lunch. And so as much as the gala, you know, adds a different level of busyness to us, we're still doing all the great things that the team gets to do every day in service to our community.
Nice. Since you stepped into the role, Jolie, what has been your main priority, would you say, just to get things kicked off for you?
I think the main priority as I stepped in is really listening to community across Chicagoland with what they would want to see from Center on Halstead and the services and programs that we do offer and what should we be thinking about in the future for our offering. So that's been my main priority, continue to be the community center that community really needs and can rely on.
What are the main obstacles in trying to overcome people that may not be as in touch as you want them to be, or using the fine services that you offer there?
Some of the obstacles, I think, I'll answer that kind of twofold. Funding is an obstacle that continues to happen. We are a nonprofit. Center on Halstead is a nonprofit similar to so many others. The current administration at the federal level has made that challenging, not just emotionally during this time, but when we think about funding stability from whether it's foundations or corporate partners as they kind of back away from equity, diversity, and inclusion investments in some nonprofits. So there's one like funding challenge, but then, with what we are seeing at the national landscape, people are being impacted about immigration and immigration enforcement. That intersects our LGBTQ plus community as well, because our LGBTQ plus community really is representative of the larger community, whether they are immigrants, whether they, across the socioeconomic kind of scale or education. And so many of the challenges that some of our community are facing are also, you're seeing it in our LGBTQ plus community as well.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah. Look, my hat's off to any leader of any LGBTQ organization right now, especially one that directly serves the community. I mean, you are a community center where people come. And I mean, we're a broad umbrella. We got one of everybody. And I'm sure trying to get to satisfy all of those voices. We often say running for the mayor of Chicago is the worst job on the planet, because there's so many different things that this is kind of akin to that, because you have so many different, like I said, we got one of everybody. So in trying to satisfy all those needs is a Herculean challenge. So thank you for bravely and graciously stepping to the fore to help out our community. Before we dive into the Human First Gala, I do want to touch on, you were talking about immigration and what is the vibe around the center right now? I mean, I from the people that come there, I understand the staff and administration, all of you, the leadership is just we're on focus, we're moving forward, we got this. But what have been some of because there are folks who really rely on the center on Halstead for services, for programs, for fellowship and community. What have you been hearing from those folks?
Yeah, I mean, you've said it so well. So many people are looking for a variety of things. So we have people that are coming into the center that are looking for community. They're looking to find like-minded identities and individuals. So maybe they join a community group, and in that community group, you can hear people talking about the stressors of the current moment. But you can also hear folks talk about how resilient our LGBTQ plus community has been over the years. And most often, unfortunately, we haven't been able to depend on anybody but ourselves within the community. And so you feel that energy coming in. I think you feel sometimes a stronger resolve from individuals who thought maybe we had achieved so much and we wouldn't have to continue such a overwhelming fight to maintain our rights. So you hear kind of a resolution and a commitment to continue the fight to ensure that all of us, including our trans youth and our trans siblings, can have and share the same equitable policies and protections that so many others do. And then you hear, just people that are deeply saddened by what you're experiencing. Maybe on occasion, we might be talking to a youth who doesn't have the same sort of legacy and resilience building from what they've seen in the past. So this moment feels like such a powder keg moment that many haven't had to experience before. So just the diversity of the populations really might yield something else that they are looking for. They're looking for a center, a physical space, an emotional space that is there for them. We've really been digging into the phrase known as here for a lifetime. That's our work at Center on Halstead, not only from youth to seniors, but for your own progression as a person. We're really here for a lifetime.
Is there any specific initiative that you're working on right now that you're real excited about that maybe people don't know about?
Yeah. The one thing is, last year we hosted a Midwest Pride Summit using the terminology pride just because of, our LGBTQ plus community and how embedded that word pride is for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're planning that. We committed to do that every other year. And so we did it in 2025. We didn't do it 2026, but we're bringing it back in 2027. So we've begun the planning for that. And really, it's a beautiful opportunity for us to engage many of not only LGBTQ plus community centers, but other organizations that are serving the LGBTQ plus community all together in one place. What's really important about something like that is we do this work every day, and it's so beautifully important for us to come alongside other people that are doing this work, not only for encouragement, but to learn from one another. What are the policies that they're putting in place to meet the moment as well? So I'm super excited about our 2027 Midwest Pride Summit. We're nailing down the date, but it'll more than likely be in the spring again. And so just looking forward to meeting some of my friends that continue to do this work every day as well.
I love that. And I just love the whole, like, we're here for a lifetime. Like, that is a great thing that really resonates. Like, and thank you. Because I've been waffling back and forth between total despair and like the eye rolling of like, oh, hell no, of like in this moment. So thank you for Center on Halstead for being able to accommodate all of my emotions that are going there. And we want to make sure that you're there for us for a lifetime as we're getting ready for the Human First Gala that's coming up on April 11th. What is in store this year?
I am so excited. I mean, the Human First Gala is such a beautiful opportunity to celebrate alongside our community. This year, Matthew Rodriguez from NBC, he's playing host, and so we're excited to have him, his voice, his energy in the space. We have a few awards that happen every year, and so the Human First Award is going to the Frankie Knuckles Foundation in memory of Frankie Knuckles, who's such a legendary DJ. So we're excited about that. The individuals and the organization that's winning the Community Spirit Award, Windy City Times, Tracy and Owen, I mean, they are absolute rock stars. And so we're so excited to just honor and recognize their journalism and advocacy over generations. And then we're super grateful, and our Corporate Impact Award is going to Comcast. They have been an amazing supporter of Center on Halstead. And so I'm also excited just to celebrate them and just recognize them in a very public way.
Good to know, because we need to hear good things about Comcast when we're frustrated with our service sometimes. So thank you for that.
Damn you, Comcast! Stop buffering.
Exactly.
So when we're giving out, I'm just so tickled and pink and over the moon that you've got Tracy Bame and Owen Keenan. Like, you have two humans who are just stalwart and dedicated to telling queer stories and preserving queer history. It just fills my heart. Like, when I saw that announcement, I'm like, oh, yay, thank you. Like, I could not think of two more deserving folks. So after we've honored them, how are we going to celebrate the rest of the night?
We're going to have good food. There's going to be open bar, and there's going to be, because of the joy that we love to stay rooted in, the dance floor is going to open up after we have all the award presentations and say our hellos. There's going to be a silent auction that's happening on site. There's going to be a paddle raise. The energy is going to be super high. And as I mentioned, eventually in the night, the dance floor is going to open up, and we have someone who was actually suggested to us, who knew Frankie Knuckles very well, that's going to be the DJ for the evening. And so the dance floor is going to open up. I changed my shoes into some flats, and listen, I get some dancing in.
There you go. Very Mother of the Bride. Yes. It's so great. My sister, she got some sequins tennis shoes that she put on. Like, we're like, all right, let's do it.
Oh, I like that.
I know.
I need those.
You got comfort.
Everything.
Heels are awful. I made the mistake of going to, I went to an About Face benefit. It was Drag Race. So I was in drag and I volunteered. So my feet were like bloody stumps by the end.
Ooh, yeah, now you
comfort.
know what we women went through for all these years. Hey, I have to do a quick, Comcast and Xfinity are two different things. Comcast is actually the NBC, right, affiliates?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I don't want to, so Xfinity is a whole nother discussion.
There we are.
Comcast, yes, thank you. We love you.
Yeah, I'm excited that somebody from Frankie, that in association with Frankie Knuckles, because when you said that, I'm like, they should definitely be and have a presence there. Can you? I know this is outside of your wheelhouse, but can you just explain just a little bit of what the Frankie Knuckles Foundation does?
Yeah. So the Frankie Knuckles Foundation, I can talk about the how they've supported us in our work.
Yeah.
Number one, the leadership of Frankie Knuckles. We did an interview, and you can catch that interview on YouTube on our Center on Halstead YouTube channel. But for us, they've really been a tremendous support. They're kind of like all foundations in and of themselves. They help grant out funding, or maybe they come alongside an organization to help support them in the work that they're doing. And that's what the Frankie Knuckles Foundation has been for us. You heard me mention the Midwest Pride Summit that we hosted in 2025. Frankie Knuckles Foundation was there in attendance and a part of that summit as well. So they've been a community foundation that's done just tremendous work to support us and so many others.
Well, here's, I've been saying this like almost every week on the air. My intention this year is focusing on community. That is the word that I have been focused on, whether it's just to like my immediate community, like my neighbors, like to help broaden, strengthen, and expand community. And we are so, so fortunate that we have Center on Halstead, who is going to be there for a lifetime, as you said, for our community. Which just makes me feel happy. For folks who are unable to attend the April 11th Human First Gala, which is at the Garrity in Chicago, is there a way that, like, will the silent auctions be online? Like, if people want to,
yes, absolutely. I have to make a plug. Our team, marketing and comms, and everyone has been doing such a tremendous job. If you go to our website, centeronhalstead.org, at the very top, you're going to see a little bit of a banner that talks about the 2026 Human First Gala. When you click on that banner, you're going to get to see so much information about, perhaps you can't attend, but you can still make a donation for all the work that we're doing. You can see that once you click on that Human First Gala link. Maybe you want to give extra shout outs to those that have been sponsors. Comcast has been a sponsor, JL Catering, some of our other longtime friends, Ted and Ross, Robert and Clark, Avita. They've been such a tremendous partner and a friend. And again, you can go online, centeronhalstead.org. You can follow us on Instagram. We have a YouTube channel, Facebook, and LinkedIn to find out more information. Or maybe like you're like, I am an amazing artist, or I am a sculptor and I would love to donate something for the silent auction or the auction that happens in the room. You can do all of that using the link on our website to find out more information. Now, if you go all there, everyone, and after this, I'll stop because I can chat about Human First Gala all day.
Keep going.
But if you want to know more about sponsoring the event, maybe making a donation or tickets or anything to that effect, you just have more questions, you can email us at humanfirst@centeronhalstead.org. That is human, HUMAN, first, FIRST, at centeronhalstead.org. And one of the amazing team members will be able to answer your question. Right now, I'm in like gala outfit picking mode.
That's the fun part. I see you're giving away a 12-night luxury yacht cruise vacation valued at $22,000, sailing African's skeleton coast from Angola to. Is that the live auction item, or is that?
Yes, that's going to be one of the live auction items that takes place in the room. When you go to that website, when you go to our centeronhalstead.org website and click on that Human First Gala, you'll be taken to a little video that talks more about that. Kind of beautiful cruise opportunity. But yeah, that's one of those. You'll be in the room, you can raise a paddle, you can get online, as I mentioned, to talk more about it. But that's an amazing opportunity for people to pour into themselves.
Sounds fantastic. Someone's gonna bid on it. You're gonna do great.
I know. I'm sitting there like, I want to bid on it, but I have a feeling as an AM radio host, I might be outbid. But I don't know. Joy, I love that you've got such a good attitude about picking out an outfit because that's what gives me the most agita. Like just even thinking about it, like I gotta look great and be fabulous and amazing. Can't even do it.
Comfortable.
And comfortable.
Oh, that's yes. It's
I'm
tough to
telling
get all
you,
those accomplished in one
Sequins
outfit.
tennis shoes. Sequin tennis shoes for the dance
I'm gonna buy
portion.
stock in that company.
Right. But in the meantime, and while you're not buying stock in that company, you can most definitely help out and support Center on Halstead's Human First Gala. It's coming up on April 11th at the Garrity in Chicago. For more information, go to centeronhalstead.org/events. And feel free, like while you're going over there, not only just checking out the Human First Gala, but check out all of the incredible programs and services and events that are offered at our community center for a lifetime. I also love that. Is the silver spoons? Is that what there's a
Silver
cookie?
Fork, the culinary arts
That's it.
program.
I'm obsessed with that one. I'm sorry.
It's cute.
I'm totally obsessed with it. But anyway, Jolie Robinson, CEO of Center on Halstead. I know it's gala season, and right now everybody in nonprofits just wants to sit down and have a little rest. So thank you for taking time out of your resting time. I hope you can fill the well just a little bit more to get you through.
And good luck on the outfit.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm going to go back and then do some puzzling. That's what I'm doing on my Sundays. I have something in the crock pot and I'm going to finish up my puzzle.
All right. I will be over to join you because I love a puzzle and I love anything in a slow cooker. Jolie Robinson, CEO of Center on Halstead. Cannot wait to see you at the Human First Gala.
Thank you all so much.
Take care, Jolie.
Take care. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it is the final thrilling show-stopping moments about Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Hi, this is Renee Taylor. You're listening to Out Chicago, WCPT 820.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here and Ella Miller rolling along here.
Yes,
hey, you know, you can listen to, rate, and share Out Chicago full episodes and featured interviews with their podcasts.
Yeah, we do a podcast
on
too.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Our show becomes a podcast.
Tune in, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Amazon Music.
I love when friends say, you know, I always forget to listen.
I'm like, well, it's a podcast. Go ahead and do it.
You can relive the memories.
I know.
Relive the joy. Relive the fun.
Relive the fun, the moment. And you can actually, if you want to watch and share this episode or any past episode of the show, go to our YouTube page. Heartland Signal, one word, and click the live tab. You can also subscribe to our YouTube page where you can find live streams and shorts from our Heartland Signal digital newsroom.
Yep.
There we are. And I want to thank Al, who just texted me saying, hey, there are about 40 No King protests happening in the Chicago area. So you can find them at mobilize.us. A big one is planned. This is from him. A big one is planned for all the people from the other rallies to come together at 3 p.m. in Elk Grove Village at Rotary Green. And there will be a band and much more.
I love seeing the suburbs and places even further south that are traditionally maybe a little more Republican leaning. I love to see that there's protests and marches in those places as well. We know what Chicago's all about, but it's great to see it expanding all over the Chicago
There's a reason why it's the Chicago land.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And also doesn't hurt that Patty Vasquez and Hal Sparks are going to be there too.
Oh,
I know, right?
Fantastic.
So great and wonderful. So thank you so much for all of that information.
Yes.
That we got going on here. I know it seems like old news, because it basically is, but the Oscars were last week.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think?
I thought they went by pretty quickly. Unfortunately, I didn't realize they started at 6.
It totally screwed me.
And I told our friends to come at 6, thinking we was going to start at 7, and then we had to dive right into it, you know, because we like to chat for a while and get caught up. So, and I also didn't realize it was supposed to end at 9:30 because I was recording it. I like to record it so I can go, and the recording ended. You know,
before
because it ended at 9:30. It went 9:40.
Do you still have a DVR?
Yeah,
what you got to do is it's like, this is a live event. Can you extend it? Always extend it for an hour and a half.
I didn't do that.
For next year.
I know.
Just for next year. But look, I thought Conan O'Brien was wonderful and hilarious. I loved the opening.
Yeah, luckily I saw Weapons literally about an hour before the show started.
Oh, I know. You were texting me saying, like, I just watched Weapons. This is crazy. Yeah.
And I agree with you last week when you said that Best Supporting Actress should go to Amy Madigan after seeing Weapons. Yes. And
Girl,
I'm glad she won.
She's so great. Although I do think one of the new people of my HOA might be Aunt Gladys.
Oh no!
Yes,
so scary.
There's a very blunt bang experience that's happening.
Bang, yeah.
But I thought it was great. I thought Conan O'Brien did a great job hosting the show. I'm with you though. We were chatting off screen. Why? Can we just stop it with the inane jibber jabber?
The banter between the presenters. It's just not the writers. Sometimes they're good at, but it's forced. You're wondering, is this supposed to be a awkward moment right now, or is it just an awkward moment?
Yeah,
and it was mainly awkward.
Yeah, like that whole Robert Downey, Chris Evans moment. That was so
in particular
stupid.
Was the one I was thinking about.
Because these are funny guys. They're funny.
They'd be better on their own. Just
let them do their
vamping,
thing.
I think. But and give more time to the winners because the K-pop people got cut off. I thought kind of abruptly. Yet they're letting these guys, these presenters, ramble on with nonsense.
But there were 6 people to write that one song.
Well, look how popular it was.
I know, it's a very popular song.
It took a village, Scott.
It does take a village. But it took 6.
Yeah, that was
I mean, and I thought, I feel like you, of course, and whenever somebody gets played off, I'm like, look, this is their time. They put in all that work. Yeah. Let them talk. Yeah. Let them talk. Let them go over. But, 6.
Yeah.
There were 6 people to write that one song. And also, I'm surprised that, Nick Cave had a song.
Oh.
Up for the Trains one.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see that one.
That one. And The Sinners. Can we talk about the Sinners moment?
The opening musical moment with the Sinners.
With the song? I sat there going how long did they rehearse this? Because the way it was shot was incredible. The performance, if you did not see it, try to find it on YouTube after you go to the WCPT Heartland Signal YouTube page and like and subscribe. Go look for it because it was just remarkable. It was a celebration of everything that Black artists and innovators and people have given to us as a country and as a culture. And it was stacked with people that were I kept going, wait, what? What is happening? What is happening? It was so beautiful.
Yeah, I was obviously beside myself. In fact, one of the guys up there I was jamming with on the cruise a couple weeks earlier, Kingfish. One of the
Misty Copeland.
Misty Copeland was there,
and dancing her little ballet butt right off in front of Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, he's never going to live that down.
No, he's not because
I
mean, Timothy, you need to sit down for a second. Mr. Timotei.
He's been.
But to see Misty Copeland come out.
Misty Copeland was
Brittany
up there.
Howard.
Brittany was up there. Shabuzi was up there. Buddy Guy, our own Buddy Guy. One of the criticisms I've heard a lot of media here in Chicago, and I agree. Buddy was kind of just. They panned him a couple times, but I really feel they should have focused on him. He was at the end of the movie.
Right.
He had a significant part at the end of the movie. Plus, he's Buddy Guy. Plus, he's 89. And someone said, well, maybe he's just not. No, he performed in his club 15 dates in January. He doesn't walk, he walks fine. He doesn't have a cane or a walker. He's still very vital. And I wish they would have showed a little more of him. But, you can't have everything.
You can't have everything.
But he was there.
They did show him. But there was also just a lot of people. There were a lot of people to show.
An embarrassment of riches.
There we are.
Up there on that stage.
Yes. And man, oh man. Brittany Howard.
Yeah.
I love her.
I love her too. Saw her last summer at the Salt Shed.
They're coming to Ravinia.
Yeah, well,
Alabama
I may not be going there. It's so expensive now.
I know, it is.
It's like the lawn for $100. No thanks. Sorry.
Well, I'll do that.
Huh?
I'll do that. I did that for Beck. I paid.
Good.
I paid okay. But it's fine. Anyway.
I don't mind paying, but I don't like paying and not seeing. That's my problem.
Well, because you got to get there early and sit on the right side.
That's
of the,
true.
I'm not telling anybody more.
Don't tell where we sit.
Where we sit over
But
there.
yeah, they have. Yeah, I love her. She's great, and her band is great. You know, she's back with Alabama Shake, so everything's.
Yeah. So the Academy Awards overall thumbs up. I was a little bummed about Sinners not winning Best Picture.
We had a pool going. I did pick One Battle to win that.
Well, I mean,
it could have gone either way.
It could have gone either way, and I also think that Paul Thomas Anderson, who had a very, very good night,
he did
that night. I think a lot of it was because he has been nominated so many times, and it was like one of those like legacy kind of thing. Because he's been nominated for, what was it, like 18 nominations, I think?
Something like this, 18 or, at least 18.
It was something like over his career, and he hadn't won anything. You know, even the, what was it, the casting director who got, they finally acknowledged casting directors for Academy Awards. And said, like, I can't believe I got an Academy Award before you did, you know, for casting one battle after another. But I think a lot of it was, like, the Academy going, it's his time. He's due.
And, you know, the movie, since it won Best Picture, I mean, it's only right that he wins Best Director, I think. You know, a lot of times. So there's been times when there's been a movie that won and the director wasn't even nominated.
Oh, you mean like the movie that was nominated, like Prince of Tides was nominated, and
like
Barbara Streisand was
That's
not.
That's exactly what I'm thinking about because I'm reading her biography right now.
It was a movie that directed itself, apparently.
Yeah. That was,
but also, speaking of that, I also thought the In Memoriam section was spot on.
Robert Redford growing up was my movie idol. Okay.
Yeah.
He was my number one favorite because movies like Butch Cassidy came out and The Sting and The Way We Were, they came out when I was a teenager.
Right.
And I loved him. And I just always did love him, his work at Sundance and his political views and his, environmental views. Anyway, when Barbara did her thing and then when she started singing The Way We Were, just the tears. I was just sobbing.
I was a mess through all of it. Like with the Rob Reiner starting out. I love that they were able to pause and really give heartfelt tributes to Rob Reiner, Diane Keaton, and Robert Redford. Like this, we lost some giants this year, and with all the people, but having them all just to take a moment to really just like share a personal story and share what this person. What this person meant to them,
and to them, and to us,
all of us. So it was. I was just sat there, just tears streaming down my face.
Yeah, I was just, we were just four of us total, but everybody had a tear in their eye at least. I was the one that was really sobbing because I just, between Barbara and I know how much I was just reading the part about The Way We Were, the chapter recently on vacation, and. You love hearing that their relationship was beautiful till the end.
Yeah. Always.
That's how you want it to be, and that's how it was, and just made me feel good.
Well, there we go. And then next show, we'll remember to keep pressing for an hour and a half extra.
Yes.
There we are to record.
On the record, yes.
There we are. Oh, hey, and that brings us to the end of a show. I want to thank all of our guests, Star De Los Santos, Landry Fleming, Alec Fan, and Jolie Robinson. Devin, thank you so much for getting me through. I almost did it without coughing.
You did.
Get me through this today. Spray me with some Lysol.
Spray him right now.
Paul, thank you so much for doing whatever it is you do behind this crazy little thing back there. Ellen Miller, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you too.
And I'm Scott Duff. And until next week, stay proud. And yes, my thing.